Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. And today I am filming the last card in our magical meadow bumper class. So I hope you have enjoyed the class and that you'll enjoy this card. To me, this is the showstopper card. So pardon me. Again, like the last one, it is a 14.5 centimetre square card, and it's got these panels in it, and so it's got some stamping and it's got some lovely designer series paper, and it's got that sentiment of the stamp that I lost, but hey, c'est la vie. Right, so loads to do on this. Now, on this sample card, I use my blends and my blending brushes and various different die cut berries. The berries, there is a die in the bundle to cut the berries, and I pop them on there. This time I've got a pile of white die cuts, and I'm going to put them on white, and then we can discuss whether that's nice or not. I've got some vellum, but I'm not going to colour any of mine. You do what makes you happy. You could have die cut them in coloured card, foil, you could use foil. There's all different things you can do. I have put this through an embossing folder, the snowflakes one. Is it Skyfall 3D or something like that it's called? Is it here? There you go, Snowflake Sky 3D. I was thinking of the James Bond film, I think, when I said Skyfall, but never mind. Anywho, that's the one I used. You use what you've got. Again, I'm not going to this time, I'm just going to use it plain. So therefore, in that way, you see the difference. Do you prefer it plain? Do you want it fancy? Choices. We'll stamp. I've cut the strip for this. I waited to do the scoring to show you how I put that in as well. So yeah, once you've done all your bits of stamping, the card is really quite easy. And now I've done stamping here, but this is ideal for a photo card. Now, credits for this card. I was taught this card by a lady that's in my team called Gail. She may have got this from Mixed Up Craft. I think she might have. Or sometimes she does some of this, is it Shruti Patil? Stuff you'll see on YouTube and Instagram. And I think Facebook as well. So anyway, I just kind of used all the stamps. And this was my opportunity to use Night and Navy as well. So yeah, so let's just, what we'll do is we'll score this first and then we'll know that that part's done. So pop this, keep that, and put all this to the side. I've got all the panels that we need. Again, you've got all the measurements in your PDF. And if there's anything that's not clear to you, just shoot me a message and I will answer it as soon as I can. Facebook Messenger is probably your quickest way to get a hold of me. So, again, the hinges on this are 2.5 centimetre. So, I'm going to be going, and then it's 4 centimetres between. So, I'm going to go 2.5, 6.5, 10.5. How good are your maths? 10.5, 14.5. Now, if you like me, don't like taking the arm of this out, pull it out and go in from this side again and do 2.5, 6.5, 14.5, and you'll see that at 14.5 you've already made that score. So there is a wee trick. It's because if I open the arm of this up, then I'm knock everything flying off my desk. So, and I'm sure at least one of you has the same problem. So you are going to, it's concertina fold this now. So that one needs to go back because that's your hinge. So that's mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. That's what you end up with. Okay, and if you can find your bone folder, just go in and reinforce these creases. And then that's, you got a nice firm concertina, you know what that's going to do. And then you should have cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. Now again, they could be little photographs. So you, if you were gifting this to someone, use more for journaling, you could just pop these in, and then they could pop tiny photographs in there. You know, if it was a special birthday you were doing this for, the style of card. But I just thought there was an opportunity to stamp all the stamps. So I'm going to open this one up to remind myself, because otherwise my brain's not so good today. So that will save me thinking too much. So obviously all of my stamps are coming out because they're all going to get a wee inking. And where is this for my sentiment? I'm going to do that as well while I've got the stamps out. Luckily I've got all these blocks from kits. Because I use a lot of kits in my cup and cards class gatherings, I have a load of these extra blocks. Right, so I'm not embossing this, but do stamp it first before you emboss it anyway. And because I'm not going to emboss that, I'm going to put that where it's going to get washed though. You could come in with one of the foliage ones and then just kind of just decorate around the edge. Because there's so many different ways to decorate things. There you go, and that'll be on your front. Then, so we use this stamp on one of our panels. It's just like you're making 6 kind of paintings to put in your book. So there's one, and then that stamp can come off there and go in the box for cleaning. And this one can just fit on there and no more. And I need another little panel to do another painting. See? Pretending I'm an artist. And again, just fill your canvas. That's another painting of foliage. Where's my, oh, there's my berries. this will, it will dye back the colour a little. Which is the one I haven't used yet? It's that one. You've got this one here, it was there to be cleaned. So we'll take the green off it. So we can now do it with blue. Just some of them will hang them upside down and some will be as they come. So that one, and then just these two. So what I did was, whoops, that ribbon was on one of the panels. I popped the Winter Wishes ski whiff to the top, and the little picture of the trees on the bottom. That one, and then the last picture is the big picture, which obviously, you know, there's more of it than you need, but just put the highest bit when you're painting. There you go, you've painted some trees. So that's the stamping done, I think. So let's pop all these stamps over in the cleaning box with my chamois. Oh, I'm not finished at all. On this one, I've done a bit of the big picture and that sentiment that I've lost, you know. So, where's the big picture gone? Okay, so that will just put the big picture and I'll leave a sentiment of that. You can add. Hopefully you've not lost yours yet. Just pop that in the corner. Right, we have finished stamping now, I think. So while that's there, let's just layer that up. That goes for the inside, that layers onto here. Now, when you're attaching this to your card, you could make this into a pocket to pop money in if it's something you're going to put money, a card you're going to put money in. So what you could do, oh, I'm not ready to do it yet, but when you're sticking this in to the card, just glue or use tape 1, 2, 3 and make it like a pocket. And then you could slide in a gift card or money or whatever. There's that, and then these go on here, so let's do this bit. Let's close that ink before we have an accident. So I'm just kind of going to follow because I think what I did the first time worked well, so I'll just go with it. So I put the Winter Wishes on the end panel. Then we'll know that which way up this is going when we glue it in. So the first one. I'll try to bring that back to nearer the middle. Then this one. It needs to take a bit more time over this card. But in my humble opinion, it is worth the effort. So I hope you'll use this design with other paper and other stamp sets. And come glue. We're on the last card, don't get. Well, I do have other things I need to film today, but so it's horrible in Scotland today. That storm Agnes, I think it is now, is hitting our shores from coming in from the west. So I think it's just going to get worse as the day goes on. It's dark and grey, and the trees are blowing, and the rain is banging on the window. So yeah, that's the kind of day. I think I might have to get another glue bottle going, but hopefully, because I've still got all the DSP to stick down yet. So you understand that, you know, this doesn't have to be stamping. This could be little pieces of designer series paper, or it could actually be photos, and these could just be mats for the photos. Right, so where is my base card? We'll pop this on the base card now. So what we're aiming to do is, as you see, it's not the length, it's a different length just to give us something, but what we want to achieve is that there and then that there. So we will be the card can fold shut, but it's just done differently. I'm going to have to get another bottle of glue, but there's enough on there for this hinge, and then so get that onto there, but use the rest of the card to make sure it is, you know, at right angles, and it's going to be flat. And then we're going to do the same here. As you see, that fold, when it's halfway, will close. It just doesn't sit exactly on the fold line. There's another gap. So fold that in half like that, and then if you get your glue on the flap, just in case I had that off camera, I know, sorry if I did. So that's 3 panels, so it's folded there. That's coming back, and then you close the card over and pick that up, and just, right, I used wet glue so I could manipulate that and make sure that that card is going to be flat. When it's open, so that helps the card to stand then, and that is on the bottom. So pop that to dry, and then we'll layer up our, now all the designer series paper here is going on a white mat. You might want to change the colours up, do you know what, that's just what floated my boat on that day that I was designing this. They don't go together, so don't even try, because they were cut that way down. I don't know if the glue will do this. I've got 2 or 3 other half empty bottles here. I do have some full bottles too, but I'm trying my best to not be opening loads and use what I've got, but sometimes they frustrate you because they choke. Right, so that's one for the inside, and another for the inside. Just by using wet glue, you can just manipulate that till you're happy. I do like this paper. It really is pretty, but I did kind of struggle with it. Okay, it's very pretty, but what will I do with it? And do you know, I don't think I've cut any paper for my front of my card, so we'll do that in a moment. But what I was going to show you was, because this is going in the inside on the back there, we can stick this panel on now, but if you wanted to be popping something in there, just glue there, three sides. And then you could still pop, you know, something in with a ribbon, or, and if you thought you were going to do that, you could put this lower down. I'm just kind of putting it so it sits in the middle. But once that's dry, I still have the capacity to pop something. So if you're putting money in, make sure there's a little bit sticking out, so that and if you're doing a gift card, put a wee ribbon or something so that they can pull it out. And then that's just going to go in the card. So let's just stick these two panels in, and then I'll cut the designer series paper for the front. So it is a little bit tricky because you're popping it in, and you need to so you need to just manipulate it all. Slide it in because you want to cover over your hinge, but you want this to sit. Whoops. You want your little. You've still got your little border of navy around everything, and again, using wet glue just gives you that time to move it about and get it the way you want it. It's quite handy to have a microfiber cloth, but I seem to have not done today. I usually have one. I think I took everything away for washing and then haven't brought it back. I'm just trying to slide that just a bit closer to the fold. But do you know what? No one's going to come and say, that's not even. They're going to be just blown away by the craftsmanship. That's not going to get to the end, is it? Oh yeah, maybe. We're just, obviously there's more air coming out than glue now. But I think there's enough to hold that down. And then I'll cut the other DSP and see if we can get another. Now I obviously want my trees round the right way, so just fiddle with this until you have it where you want it to be. And as you see, that hides that hinge. So that's the inside of your card. So when you close it, it's probably better to do it that way, just so that it's not so bulky. So we've got that, and we've got that. Again, I'm going to use the designer series paper, however that could be a stamped top as well. But I did get asked, you know, show me how to use this paper. So, pardon me. I actually have a full sheet of this here. But I just need I just must have been ahead of myself, thinking I'd cut everything when I hadn't. Oh well. So this needs to be 13.5 square because it's going on to a 14 centimetre square layer, and then a 14.5 card base. I mean, again, we could have stamped that, but today we're not. Is that going to work? No, there's not enough left in that. So I think I'm going to be brave and just pop that in the bin. Just go through these one at a time, and if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. That's not going to flow, is it? I have stored them that way up, but I've got about another 4 at least on my desk, so let's see what happens. Come on, it's still got a... see? I shouldn't do that over your paper. I think you see there's that... No, it's not. That's not lumpy. This is ever so pretty, isn't it? For me, it reminds me of the blaeberries growing on the moor. And now it's going on the front of my card. Oh, come on. Oh, that was the very last squirt out of that one too. Oh well. Oh, look, got some. I've no idea which way is up with that one. I think it is quite multi-directional. So there you go, that's your basic card, and then all I've done is decorate it. So I've got this bit that I'm going to put in the middle. Remember, you could either stamp round yours or emboss it, or both, you know. And what I did, if I can find them, is I just put some centimetres. I'm tired, haven't I? You can feel it. Dimensionals, and there's another sheet of them escaped somewhere. I'm just going to put a few in the middle. We may slide some under at the end, but I just put a few up the middle because I'm going to slot my die cuts underneath. So I want this sort of in the middle, just eyeball it though. I promise you nobody's going to get a ruler out and check your card. They're really not. And as I say, I think a good idea to do is just take some basic white and some vellum and just cut yourself, there's about 4 different foliage dies in there, and just cut yourself some and then just play. As I say, these are very pretty, but I'm just, you know, I'm just going to pop some in. I'm just going to hopefully add some glue. Do you know what's good to do? Is to get your, if you don't have a silicone mat, you know, even a bit of wax paper or something, but a silicone mat is so handy for glue jobs. I'm just going to spread that out a bit there. Just dip the bottom of that in there and tuck it in. Obviously, if you're like flower arranging and what have you, you can take as long to do this as you like. You can put glue under the top if you want for the moment, because you can pop in and, you know, put that in after. just moving that out to the corners of the card. They're all stuck together now. So here's a vellum one. Same thing, just get some glue on it. Tuck it in under there. I quite like to leave it, you know, you might want to add a little bit more glue than that, but it's quite, it gives a lot of texture, and I think it would be good to cut some gold if you've got any of the distressed gold. I'll just pop this up in this corner so we know that the corners are being, and then we'll just tuck bits in. Get in there. Well, if you have problems, just snip. You know, if it won't go in as far as you would need it in, just snip a bit off its bottom and take charge. Always remember that you're in charge of the card. The card's not in charge of you. Just like when you had children. You're in charge. You will end up icky sticky unless you're really good and you use tweezers, and you'll have sticky fingies like me, I don't mind. So I am going to snip a bit off the bottom of this one, simply because this one, it's a bit weak on that long stem. Again, you can build this up with as little or as much as you like. Take that bit off. And those wee bits I'll tuck in later. Oh. Again, another good wee tool really is a wee cocktail stick or something along those lines, or a little brush, and then you can add some little bits of glue just to flatten that. But you know, if you just leave it for a while, they will lie down and they'll flatten. So I would want something up here. I think that'll, no, I'll just take that, chop it there. There's not much glue left on there, so I don't want to be putting more out, so I'm just whatever you've got to hand. Oh, that fully stuck to my scissors, but that's okay. So I'm just picking up the last of this glue, and it's all sticking to my fingers. Just going to pop this one under there. And move all these bits out of the way. So I've got extra die cuts there. I could sit there and tuck them in forever and a day. So I don't know what you think. I think it would be better to add in some either silver or gold in there as well, since I've not put colour in. But it's all a matter of individual taste. So that's my second version of card 9, and there's the first version. As you can see, they're different, but I've got sticky fingers, so I can't wait to go and wash that off. But thank you so much for sticking with it through the class. That is the end. And once I've tidied this up, posted out your boxes, polished off the PDF and given you the links to all these videos, then I'll start designing next month's class. So watch out for my emails and you'll know what's coming out next month. I'm not quite sure yet. A few ideas floating about. But yeah, if you've any special requests, you can put them in and I can try. But anyway, thank you so much. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.